Hey guys, how's it going? So I've been working on this kind of US map game that's kind of just like the beginnings of it could be many other games. So I've wanted to make a US map kind of game for a long time for like a lot of different kind of game designs. Right now this one is kind of emulating this kind of real-time strategy slash board game-ish kind of conquer territory thing. So in this little prototype right now, we got 4 different teams, and they own various cities, and then they'll try to grow by conquering other cities. So these are all real cities and the relatively close lines of the actual states, and based on their population, there'll be different sizes. And it's perfectly relative to their actual city size. And so I have just these teams start in different corners, and these have these little units that go to cities and try to conquer them. It takes some time to conquer depending on the size. So Chicago is the biggest city here. I've only got like about 15 states. But I've always thought the US has such a cool texture to it. It's a great map to use for all kinds of things. So other potential things I could use are like, I wanted to make this like tour music band tour game where you could tour around different cities, and it could be either like a macro form, like a higher up where you're managing multiple bands and booking them in these different cities and they go to different cities, or it could be more focused in where you're maybe one band going to each city and the venues are different depending on the city, and they're kind of like monsters, and they're kind of like the venues are kind of crazy, and then each show you have to maintain the show. You'll be like the band manager. And maybe you could find different bandmates to different cities and recruit them. And just US gives you such a cool texture. So I guess the future of this potential game would be I want to have different unit types. So right now there's just basically one kind of unit. I kind of wanted to have there's like a human unit and then a nature unit for like these main sectors of the US. So like the northeast would have linemen, like linebackers, for their person unit, and maybe they either have like eagles for their nature unit. And I was gonna have it if you own all the nature or all the cities in a state, you'd conquer that state and start producing nature units. But for now, it's just when you conquer a city, depending on that city's size, it'll produce units. So a bigger city produces units faster. And I also wanted to try like an AI, just like some basic, the most simplest AI as possible. So right now, all they do is they find the center of where most of their units are, and then they find the closest conquerable place to that point, and then they send all their units there. So it's pretty simple and basic, but it's kind of cool that there's actually this kind of tug and pull and changing just by itself with just these simple mechanics. And there's no random numbers, of course. I don't use random numbers. It's just the different texture that provides this kind of asymmetrical balance. So yeah, back to the main game. I want to make it. I want to basically be kind of like stereotypical American stuff. Oh, and another tangent. I made the zoom where no matter how far you zoom, the text and size of the characters change, so you can kind of see them far away. I noticed this in other games when I finally implemented it, and it was pretty easy, and it's pretty awesome. I love it. So all the text and everything. Oh, looks like they're trying to get over Chicago. Looks like blue is really conquering the south. They're taking high roads, but the south cities aren't as populous as the northern cities. Like Ohio, I didn't know has a lot of pretty populated cities. And it's kind of fun just to like learn about the US by actually making this map. So yeah, the American game. So yeah, the northeast would have like football players. Maybe the southeast has like hunters, like people hunting deer. and then maybe for their animal they have like alligators, and then this southwest. So I'm actually making this right on top of a real map. So that's how I can get the state lines well. And I basically just click these points. I hold a key while I'm pressing the points, and then in my console it'll show me the points, and then I just manually enter them to make the states. And it seems crazy, but it's really not that difficult. It takes a few minutes for each state. And the cities have the name, where their location is, and then their size. So, and I put in a comment right next to it how big the actual city is. So like Louisville, Kentucky is about 615K, and so on. And there's also repeats of cities, like there's 2 Columbuses, oh yeah, I'm only doing cities that are above 100,000 people. So if the city has less than that, I'm not entering it in. So like, and then if it has no cities that are 100 or more, then I just put their most populous city, and that's it. So like West Virginia, Charleston only has like 60K people in it. That's their most populated city. So I just gave them one city. Like Arkansas, Little Rock is more than 100K, but it's their only city that has that much. So, so yeah, for other games I could add like rivers and roads, and you could add industry. You can go higher fidelity in the city and do all kinds of stuff. This basically is a great jumping off point for a lot of different game prototypes. And I mostly want to do it to simulate the map and simulate some basic AI. But as far as other units, you could have cowboys on horseback for the west, I guess you could call it. And the far north up here, you can maybe have like Mohicans or Apaches, like tomahawks and stuff. And then maybe they could have super units. So like if you had a lot of production, you can make better units. So like for the northeast, maybe like mafia bosses who have like Tommy guns. It's just some ideas. I kind of want to make it like a silly, like it's a board game, war game, but it has like silly units. So I thought that'd be kind of interesting. But yeah, I wanted to show this off. I thought it was pretty fun. And let me know if you have any ideas for other games I can make with this. And if you want me to upload it, maybe I'll upload it. Maybe I could add like a 1v versus computer form. But right now, you'd be pretty easy to beat the computer. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.